It's midday. Welcome to the Bulletin from the News Hub here at Adisawi Kanda in Accra, live from our studios here, DSTV channel 279 across all our social media platforms. It's TV3 Ghana. It's not too late to download the 3 News app on the Google Play or App Store and watch us on the go. Our top stories this afternoon. Toll booth attendants left stranded Thursday following directive by Roads Minister that road toll collection ceases from today. We'll bring you updates from across some toll booths in the country. Also this afternoon, Ghana Football Association shocked by claims World Cup qualifying match between Ghana and South Africa in Cape Coast was manipulated by match officials. And on the international front, thousands of Nigerian railway workers start 3-day strike to push government to improve their welfare. We have details of these stories and more, including a lot more sports and entertainment, if you stay with me over the next 60 minutes. Let's begin this afternoon from here. And toll booth attendants at Aboaso in the Kwabre East municipality of the Ashanti region have described as insensitive the decision by the Roads and Highways Minister to cease the collection of tolls. They claim not much time was given to them to plan ahead. My colleague Ibrahim Abubakar reports despite the directive by the Roads Minister to cease collection of the tolls from 12 a.m. Thursday, attendants were seen collecting tolls as early as 5 a.m. today.
Government has abolished all tolls on public roads and bridges. This, according to the Finance Minister, is to take effect immediately Parliament approves the 2022 budget. But the Roads and Highways Minister, Amoakwata, has also issued another statement calling for the immediate cessation of all tolls effective today, Thursday, November 18. This decision has been described as haste by some toll attendants here at Aboaso in the Kwabre East. As early as 5 a.m. when we got here, tolls were still being collected because the toll attendants say they were unaware of the decision by the Road Minister.
It came as a surprise to me because I know we are in a country of laws. Because you present budgets, it has to go through the Finance Committee before they approve it on the floor. So without approval on the floor, and then you ask us to shut tolls just like that, to me it doesn't make sense. I don't see, because there's law that backs toll. So if anything new is coming, there should be the law. You just don't sit in the comfort of your office and just order things to be shut down like that. Well, in the country, it is very bad. To be honest with you, it's very bad. You don't take the decision because you've not even engaged the workers. Because I heard the minister saying the workers were going to be reassigned. So if you're going to you are going to reassign a worker, you've not even spoken to him. You've not even sat him down to talk about where he will be going to or whatever. Then suddenly, boom, you just tell him to go home. It doesn't make sense to me. As I'm talking to you now, at the end of this month, they are owing 2 months. They were only paid September. October hasn't come. We are in November, getting to the end of November. They've not paid them. So you are asking these collectors, disabled and disabled guys to go home. Right now, they are going home.
Even though government says it will reassign the toll booth attendants, they are not too enthused with the abrupt decision to allow them go home unprepared.
The time given for us to cease collecting the tolls is short. We have not prepared ourselves for this.
We depend on this job for a living. Everyone has his or her shifts. We have to go home not knowing what is next.
It's just like that. Today, especially say around next year, I'm hoping I could be shouting down and carry a boy who can cry so much.
We thought we had up to next year to prepare and plan.
You bury assign them where the move before what is asem no.
Boss, Yatina say for a new. wadena no aka na ye twetwe no anfo ya se de ne be no ye ne tumi bia ye ne hwe betimi da no. It
was announced we will be reassigned, but since it was just words, we are yet to see that materialize.
Walking activities around the tolls have been also affected.
Where are we relocating? Where will we go from here? We have nowhere to go. No brother, no husband, 4 children. How will I cope? So I'm pleading to the government to do something about it.
Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Abuaso, Ashanti region.
So that's the situation in Abuaso in the Ashanti region there. Let's cross over to the Western region because toll collectors and traders at Bedukrom toll booth on the Takrade to Cape Coast Road have described the directive for the immediate cessation of collection of the tolls as ill-timed. My colleague Eric Harry visited the area. He's joining me. Eric, so beyond the description as ill-timed, what have they been telling you about what impact this will have on their livelihoods?
There are 2 categories of people that I spoke with at the Bedukrom toll booths. The one is the first category is the toll collectors themselves, and the other one was the scores of women who are selling around and at the toll booth because of the normal tailback associated with the presence of the toll booth. Now, for these, the first category, the toll collectors, they appear to be on the same page with the traders that, as you did indicate, that this decision is ill-timed because they don't see the reason why you announced a directive and less than 24 hours you go ahead with that directive. For some of them, they were saying that for the traders particularly, they were saying that they are using loans for their activities, and only 2 days, only 3 days last week, some of them contracted new loans for their activities. So they were hoping that even if government has that intent, at least they should have given them, government should have given them some grace period of like about a month or 2, or even after Christmas, so that they will be able to pay back the loan. Okay. But this is so sudden, and they don't know what they are going to do. Now, for the toll collectors themselves, what's next for them is that they are hoping that government will send this decision, because should it stand, it will be very unbearable for them. They speak of how difficult it is to get a job in Ghana now. So it's going to be difficult for them. Now, some related to me stories of how they had to spend years in the house before they were contracted at the various toll booths. And now they have to, less than 2 years, they are now out of job, and it is going to be unbearable for them. They will now have to begin the cycle of walking around in the scorching sun with their envelopes, brown envelopes, and looking for jobs again. I even told them that government has given firm assurances that they are going to be re-engaged, but they are not convinced that government will live by that word, because according to them, there are countless stories where government will promise and government will not deliver on that promise. So they are not taking that word serious. For the traders, some of them told me that during the weekends they record in excess of 600, 700 cedis, and because of the long tailbacks at the toll booth. Okay. Now that there's going to be free flow of traffic, it means that they're not going to record those sales. Okay,
thank you very much, Eric Yarije from the Western region there. And let's bring you back here to Accra and to one of the areas which has been notorious for vehicular congestion. That's around the Kaswa area. My colleague Stanley Nible was there. He reports the directive has already begun hitting hard on economic activities around the enclave.
Prior to the announcement by the Finance Minister in Parliament yesterday, and the subsequent directive by the Roads and Highways Minister, Amoakwata, the road toll abolishment has taken effect. It came into effect at exactly 12 o'clock Thursday morning. I'm going to the Kaswa toll booth to assess the situation. The Roads and Highways Minister since 2019 has been advocating for an increment in the road toll collection, claiming that if Ghanaians wanted to enjoy good road infrastructure, then the increment must come into effect. And so yesterday, it took the entire country by surprise when the finance minister announced in Parliament that government is abolishing the road toll. What this means is that government must look elsewhere to secure funding to address the country's road infrastructural deficits. The abolishment of the road toll will address some issues. Drivers will begin to save some money. The regular traffic that's built up on this stretch as a result of motorists staying in long queue, waiting to pay for their toll, would also reduce drastically. And the third issue would have to do with the fact that anytime there is change in government, political party foot soldiers attack and hijack toll booths. This issue would also be no more. The toll booth, which has been in operation for more than a decade, receives more than 20,000 vehicles a day. Here, most motorists using the stretch are not privy to the directive, and so when they get to the toll booths, they stretch their hands to pay for their tolls. But other drivers who are privy to the information to blow their horns, signaling them that they should drive on.
You say about boy because here I walk, especially Kasuano. There were say I say to hell. Oh, a chromo back a fear. Massa, what I say, you bet the two move free, a boy Botiano, and I say shopping mall, and the Abedua. Oh, dear high, my year for a boy, free toe in your free toe, no by ya, and come my free toe, and yen. Ya wo member to see a G2. I didn't know to me find your coin. They be a tia, and so to me a day scale Munyawa Hano, it's between the way more than 10 times.
However, economic activities around the toll booth enclave also affected.
I am not brother no about matching a baton. In time matching your buy, and I see to no more jaika. In fact, yes, we have bread, bebre, or honor. And the other band is after the Abasa, into Muquia Bafatua, a baton your bread. No,
Sabina, Wada Roma, and I said, because French, and you'll be asking a cool school. And I said, Behind Sway Jano, said Behind be a quadri law, they told a day. I will be in my 4, 3, 5, I know Yano, General Eden, or the channel. It is sent to be in Point, and can send for a television and a radio station, don't come back to me back. Mother Catcher said, oh, Tom Boots, Yamabel 2 minds and our 1 minds. Monfan packing when near money be a moon free, I say, maybe a Tony be any sin. By answer, she had the 1 cent and chopper by, I say, Omion Chatoni Bill.
The MP for the Botano English and Manfrom constituency has also been here. He has been speaking about intervention for the hawkers.
Government has taken a very bold decision and very precise one that all toll booths should be abolished and find a different means to raise revenue for road construction in this country. Today, as a member of parliament, I know that most of them were not expecting this today. That is why I'm coming to their aid, go through, register, and help them, as little as it is, from my own pocket, to be able to assist them and rally government support for them for resettlement. I'm going to liaise with the municipal assembly to quickly look for a temporary market for them. We have market in the community. We look for a space for them. We can subsidize it for them to start their business once again. And for that, I'm committed to do so.
From the Kaswato booth, Stanley Niblewu, reporting for TV3 News.
Let's take you now to one of the busiest toll centers here in Accra. That's the Accra Tema motorway. It sees huge volumes of traffic on a daily basis. With the latest directive to scrap tolls, what is the situation there? How are attendants there coping? And what is the atmosphere in terms of business activities? Co-host of a morning show here on TV3, that's Cookie T, was there.
Still I was one then anka suesi okakra na ukonya ya meraho na nama meraho anopa we mennu me ho posa me kwato abama MPP for because tama na mama wo so no so abeye bibia osumaba se memba say na we dem pafruma outwo back front ya sumi me kwaya dem matua ni raka.
Now she tells us that if she had gotten prior notice that they were not supposed to be hawking here this morning, she wouldn't have even turned up here at all. But someone wouldn't say and you're right to say a coin who say one kasa kwa life cry is at risk.
And then say sister, why driver for no mudi ka ni ba no. Me pa cho mama me kasa me ni abele. Me pesa me kan che na na se adolofo na de car ne ba ha no omu nim se ye du to omu lo car ne ba fom sa accident be si we ye chi
ma me dia kwaso wo man mu yagye ayente ase aha se nya market ba edu campaign time na na ado onim se ni page na ha na na ado gina edu a no we vien yes omu be ye campaign abrani nya betete research ma ye ni nya ma me there be some akofenkosia minim akofenkosia crate e dia besi wa amenye den minim me kwafa ni bebre na ma turn nkakra into some make so that say date say and run me kwafa sankosia crate no into no so be sha ye obeka try so that say mamomba ha say na besi anka ma me ye ha ye ho
akufa do ade no any impromptu enu anajo 12 o'clock na yete no nti enim so ma na koyenim kakra ansa na wa ye ne nema.
Well, the cancellation of the road toll, she tells me that favors Akufo-Addo and his government, but it doesn't favor any of them.
Ya to ado kama ya yanko school ni bi. Money kan yo bia no ko school asase so. Nti me am ko school me to ado ha. Na me didi, na me hwa me ye ne me ma. Ti se wa ba se me to ado ha biem. Another whole day, ya tia to ochina. Na ya sa skaba na ba ya ba hwa ya ne ya ma. Skaba na ba hwa ya ne ya ma. So
it's clear here that the hawkers are having a very hard time accepting the directive that came from the roads ministry this morning. So if there's any way this government can at least reverse this directive, even till after Christmas, they would appreciate it. They do not understand why this directive came after Christmas, because this is the time they see as their peak season. And if you're telling them within their peak season to get off hawking the roads, the streets and everything, where do you want them to go? That's the question they are asking this morning. That please make sure that next time a directive like this is going to take place, give them prior notice and give them an option as to what to do to be able to make ends meet.
So that's co-host of New Day here on TV3, Cookie T, interacting with some agitated hawkers around the Tema motorway area. But we know that the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, after presenting the 2022 budget, Parliament is expected to deliberate. The Finance Committee will deliberate over the figures and the statistics, etc., and go ahead to recommend approval of a budget statement as a House. Now, hours after the presentation, the Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoako-Attah, directed the cessation of collection of tolls on public bridges effective Thursday, which has already begun biting. Let's engage private legal practitioner Justice Abdullahi for some legal education. Thank you, Justice Abdullahi. Always a pleasure speaking to you on some of these matters. So
it is great always being with you.
You've heard all the concerns. The traders are agitated. The toll attendants themselves do not know what next for them. But from your perspective and what the law says, does the minister has any such powers to make a directive such as this one, pending approval of the budget itself by Parliament?
Indeed, I think the question is, the answer is in the question you just asked. Appropriation of any kind within the complete reserve of Parliament. And so Parliament has its own discretion and the authority to grant any taxation or removal of taxation or the reduction of same. And so that's entirely within the preserve of Parliament and not a particular Minister of State, unless, of course, Parliament decides to grant a minister that authority to do so. But I haven't seen anywhere in present statutes where the Minister of Roads has the authority to make this kind of decision on behalf of Parliament. I mean, I haven't come across anyone yet. And so to that extent, it is easier to see that the Parliament may decide not to even accept it. And so I think the minister should have just taken his time. He was too much in a hurry, out of excitement, had to do this, and I think that is wrong.
And are there any remedial measures thereof? So, for example, if Parliament goes ahead and in their deliberations over the budgets, the details of a statement decide that, no, this is an area we do not think is in the right direction, how would you place that versus this directive? Would that render the directive null and void then?
Indeed, if it turns out that Parliament decides not to grant the request of the Minister of Finance or the President to remove these road tolls, what that would mean is that the road minister would have caused financial loss to the state for the period of time that he failed to collect the amount on behalf of the state. And I do not think that would be a situation that any of us would be happy with. So, which is why I say that the minister acted too prematurely in this conduct.
And finally, before I let you go, these attendants themselves, who we know are largely persons living with disabilities because of a directive by government to put these individuals to man these toll booths. Now they are out of jobs. Government has said that it is going to reassign them, but the definitives are not clear. We do not know when and where. What options are available to these now unemployed individuals?
For such persons who are directly affected by this conduct of the minister, I believe the most appropriate thing to do is to continue to pay them their emolument until a final discussion had. I don't know the circumstances of their employment, whether they are contract staff or they are permanent staff or in any form of shape. But whatever the arrangement is with the government, I think the most appropriate thing to do is to maintain them on salary until an appropriate conversation is had as to the way forward. I've heard the minister saying that, I heard the minister saying that they would find a way to deal with them. But that way to deal with them should not be such that they would not receive their salaries going forward until that decision is made.
Okay.
I think, yes, so they would have to continue to maintain them on salary until that final decision is taken as to exactly how the way forward should be. The saddest part is those who benefit from this mess that has been created by the minister, i.e. the traders and hawkers around the various toll booths. I think there should have been a proper dialogue as to how to either relocate them or find a better means of livelihood for them. I think decisions are taken to ensure that the people who are directly affected, but the generality of Ghanaians benefit from it. And so if there are those who are going to suffer directly from such a decision, I think the most appropriate thing to do is to ensure that they are informed of that, and then appropriate measures being taken to reduce the incidence of that decision that is to be taken. I think that's just common sense approach that I expected that be taken before such a rush communications was made.
Thank you very much, Justice Abdullah. Always a pleasure speaking to you here on this particular subject. Now, the National Council for Persons Living with Disabilities has described as shocking and surprising this particular directive by the Finance Minister and implemented by the Roads and Highways Minister for the cessation of collection of tolls along the toll booths. Now, according to the Council, there was no consultation prior to the decision, which has left many of their members who used to man these toll booths now unemployed. In a short time, we'll be engaging Yao Deborah. He is the chairperson of the council. Thank you, Yao, for joining me. So I know that some of your members who used to man these toll booths already are owed salary arrears. Now, a lot of them are supposed to go home, awaiting that decision or a move by government to reassign them. What is the mood and how are they taking this latest directive from your perspective as a council?
Thank you very much. In fact, when the conversation or the discourse began before even the budget, we were contemplating the effects on our members who are engaged in this toll booth work. And so when yesterday the budget was presented and the minister said they are not going to be abandoned to their fate, but they will be reassigned or supported from the Youth Start Fund, we thought that that was going to create a space for us to engage the government, because normally the budget proposals will be debated in Parliament, approved before implementation. Yeah. We never thought that we were going to wake up to the news that the removal of the toll booths is taking place immediately. So what the council and disability organizations are planning to do is to arrange a discussion with or a dialogue with the minister so that we actually arrive at a solution that will be comfortable to the staff who were disabled.
Okay, and before I let you go, so we also know that some of them are already owed salary arrears. What are the indications you get from the states that these arrears will be paid at a time when most of them are supposed to go stay home and await that reassignment?
Yes, I actually find out from some of the staff. They said they owe them October and November. So it will be part of the discussions that we will hold with the minister, because they should be paid off before they are laid off completely. And we are also going to make sure that they are not actually shortchanged, because since they have been given promise that they are going to be reassigned, we will be hell-bent on getting that kind of solution from the minister or the government, so that these brothers and sisters of ours are not going to suffer unduly.
Thank you very much, Yao Deborah. He is the council chair of a disability organizations that's speaking to us. Well, Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh has said that the traders who are complaining that they weren't given enough notice to put themselves in order before the implementation of this particular directive actually have a case. He's been speaking on New Day.
Say that the women have a point. I'll run away from that. Maybe on second thought, we should have given them time in education. Or even if you're not going to educate them, we should have said the road tolls should have started from 1st January. In fact, the levies are starting from 1st January. There was no need to probably do that.
Is DUMSO back?
Is it back? Yourself, the question should be asked.
No, I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking you. You're a consumer. I'm a policy maker. Is DUMSO back?
What feedback are you picking?
None. Actually, the feedback I'm picking is that when it's even raining, the lights are on.
Okay. So DUMSO is not back?
It's never going to be back.
I see. Are we done with DUMCCA?
No, we are not.
We are not.
We are not.
So then there are a few bottlenecks here and there that you're trying to
Obviously, if I don't accept that, there's probably a biggest lie.
Okay.
Now, we accept the fact that we need to still invest in our energy sector.
You heard the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, speaking on New Day with Johnny Hughes a short time ago. Let's take a step away from that. And residents of Fayase early Wednesday poured onto the streets in demonstration over the need for the construction of a dual carriage road in their area. Beatrice Gabra was there.
But it's quite unfortunate that valuers have been sent to Fayase Township to value and compensate those victims, the buildings which are to be demolished so that we can get the dual carriage. But yesterday evening around 3 to 4, we saw the contractor with his excavator draining the gutters just in front of the town. And as you can see, we saw it. What happened, it wasn't good at all for the citizenry of Fayase mine. So right now, instead of the double lane that we have to have, when you get to Fayase, it's been a single lane that the contractor is actually going to, create for the Fayase mine. We are all part of Ghana, and we deserve better.
The agreement has been reached. The contractor and the government want to pay half of the amount. The people are not interested in it. What can they do with half the amount? Give them the full amount and put down the borders and construct a road for us. That's all that we need. Money is not the issue. They should resolve it.
For the residents of Fayase to pay the needed compensation to the property owners so that the structures can be demolished and the contractor will construct the dual carriage as is being done from Dompasi Junction to Abidjan Kwanta as the initial plan of the road contract is. Beatrice Spiogabra, TV3 News, Fayase.
Let's do some education-related stories now because Africa Education Watch, the National Union of Ghana Students, and CAPCO have petitioned Parliament advocating increased allocations and investment in public basic education to improve its quality. The group is demanding an increase in the share of a basic education sector expenditure to 50%, an amendment to the capping of GET Fund to at least 50% to resource education infrastructure provision.
This is not the first time that you are presenting NUPS is presenting a petition to Parliament, and this is not going to be the last one. and we thank you for that. It's laudable. What we are saying is whatever is in the petition, we would send it to the appropriate quarters. Parliament will discuss it. We will give it to Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker will refer it to the committee. We extensively discuss it, and it come back to the plenary for the discussion. And whatever comes out of it, we are for it. We are here to make sure that education becomes the best.
He has said it all. The petition has been well received. As a committee, we have a responsibility to ensure that teaching and learning goes on effectively. So if this coalition has presented a petition to us, we will do the needful, and then the outcome of our deliberations will be communicated to you.
Looking at the rate at which almost all the concentration has been on senior high school, the universities and others, we felt our colleagues at the basic school have been left out, lacking all these infrastructure development. So we came together, shared ideas, did the necessary research, and realized this is the time to petition Parliament, especially the Select Committee on Education. Let them know the situations on the ground, because we hardly see senior high schools that are having students under trees, senior high schools that are studying or learning on their belly, senior high schools without desk, study desks and others.
We'll stay a while longer on education because the General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, Thomas Musa Tanko, says leadership of the association will deal with all members who fail to respect the code of conduct governing the association. He was addressing teachers and some bereaved families of 9 pupils of St. Charles Luanga Junior High School who died in a boat accident.
The General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, was in Saboba with some regional and district members of the association to commiserate with the bereaved families of 9 pupils who died in a boat accident. His first point of call was at the palace of the overlord of the Saboba traditional area, Matea John Bowen. While there, Thomas Musa lauded the chief and his people for ensuring the safety of the remaining teachers in the area. He called for more cooperation and collaboration between the association and the chiefs.
That whatever that together with the education people can do to ensure that going forward, these things do not repeat or do not occur any time again, we will certainly get it done. So together we'll help get the children trained.
The delegation then moved to interact with family members of the 9 deceased pupils. Thomas Musa assured the bereaved families that the association will take steps to prevent any future occurrence. Spokesperson for the affected families, Jason Ngobi, reiterated the incident was an act of God and appealed for the head teacher to be freed.
The parents here, we are ready to show the whole world that we need peace. It isn't the man's intention to have gone to let the children drown. So if we are attacking him, what are we benefiting from that?
On Friday, November 12, 9 pupils of the St. Charles Luanga Junior High School in the Saboba district drowned and died while returning from their head teacher's farm. The head teacher, who was arrested by police in Saboba, has since been remanded into prison custody by a Tamale magistrate court. He is to reappear on November 29.
You're still watching Midday Live from the News Hub here at Addison Wikanda in Accra with me, Komla. Adam, we have more stories including business, sports and entertainment if you stay with us after this break.
I'm going to interview Zuzum right here in my house. Hey!
Look up there. Why are you using inferior pen?
It was a mistake. I no check.
Acrobat, I'm going to knock you out.
I know, sir.
You deserve quality.
Don't make mistakes. Stop.
You did the right thing.
When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
The 5th anniversary edition of the prestigious Ghana Energy Awards is here. The Energy Media Group, in partnership with GP Business Consultant, proudly presents yet another spectacular edition. Deserving companies and individuals will be honored in various categories of the awards under the auspices of the Ministry of Energy, its allied agencies, and the World Energy Council Ghana. The 2021 edition of the event is under the theme Digitalized Energy Sector, the key for a resilient economic future. It is happening live on Friday, 19 November at the Labadi Beach Hotel, 6:30 p.m. prompt. Guest of honor of the night, Honorable Minister of Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. Industry partners. Validation is done by Mazars Ghana. Media partners. For ticket and sponsorship, send your inquiry on 055-930-0631. Info at GhanaEnergyAwards.com. Ghana Energy Awards, redefining excellence.
So, it's just the two of us. Can't beat this.
Beat this?
Oh, hey.
You can't beat the Champions League,
Europa League, La Liga, Serie A,
and the Premier League.
All 380 matches of it, with its own dedicated Super Sport channel, Maji.
Get a HD decoder, dish kit, and 1 month of DSTV access for only 169 Ghanaian cedis.
You actually say property fridge dear ekulu papa me fie ha dear property near man kwana me use esanse ma me fie ha ye fene ma brabono so ye mrese my property.
Mommy, I want ice cream.
So what the fridges, freezers, TVs, air conditioners, washing machine, gas cookers, microwaves, blenders, electric irons, rice cookers.
Any near kahu biara top up record property dear enu ne ye gigi.
Property electronics, papa, entry in Namukania, your fridges no, what are the shame? Ne coolie, a say, your compressors no, and what dimpa. Ubenya biato, our Ghana fanenina, Upe to ato. Tony Sack Electronics, SD Karam Dynamo, ewo edum kumase, ebe method is a sorry. Property, top papa preco.
3, 2, 1, we're here at Afrimas 2020. I've learned a lot here. The knowledge that has been channeled here is quite very voluminous. I'm just still processing some of the things I've heard here and I've learned here, and I'm going to really establish contact, network a lot so that my media career could take a very smooth, in fact, learning from the experiences or dipping from the wealth of these well-known and well-researched men.
Wanna be a star?
Hey there, Mentor X is here again. 16 contestants with 16 amazing performances every Sunday, and they need you to make them get closer to becoming the next global icon. Here's how. Dial *713*13#. Select the contestant you want to vote for. Select the amount of votes you want to buy. Follow the mobile money prompt and confirm payment, or download the TV3 Reality app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Select the contestant you want to vote for, tap the vote button, select the amount of votes you want to buy. Follow the mobile money, card, Ghana QR or Hubtel prompt and confirm payment. And yes, you just voted for your favorite contestant and they are a step closer in making their dreams come true. Mentor X, discovering the next global star. TV3 Mentor takes you higher. Mentorex is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil, and Napa Foods, Sense Body Spray, Club, Better Malt, Tom Vita, Close Up, Geisha, Drugnet.
It's an awesome TV experience this November on TV3. We'll start off every morning with you on the all-new New Day. Hold you in contempt in the rib-cracking court of Makwela vs. KGTR. Soothe your November with the best of tunes on 3 tunes. Family secrets, suspense, love, regret, loyalty, all that and more on the all-new captivating El Paraíso. We'll make you deal with the beautiful untold stories on The Day Show. On Fridays, meet the hilarious Giovanni Caleb on Showbiz 360 with all the beauty, class, and trendiest lifestyle and entertainment on the latest circle. Catch you up on what the women of the moment are doing different on Today's Woman, while entertaining you every Saturday with musical performances from your favorite stars on Music. And where would your November be without the extra factor taking you higher on Mentor X? We've got it all packed and ready for your pleasure on TV3 this November. Keep watching TV3, first in news, best in entertainment.
You're welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's do some business stories this afternoon. Information Minister Kojopo Nkrumah has justified the removal of a 50% benchmark value on goods despite threats by traders to increase prices by 20%. He says government is still on a path of recovery and entrepreneurship will remain a priority in 2022.
What it means is that the real duties on those products have to be paid. So the real duty on chicken has to be paid. The real duty on rice has to be paid. Because the more we continue to discount the duties, the local producer is no longer competitive because then the imported product is cheaper than the local product. But if we reverse that and the local producer is now competitive, he has more demand because the market is still here in Ghana. So he has more demand, he can produce more, he can employ more. That is the rationalization behind it. They are completing the details of the items. I think it's just about 30 to 40 items. Then they'll do a lot of engagement with the Ghana Revenue Authority, GUTA, and the groups that are affected, as well as industry. And then a final implementation date, I suspect, by early next year, will be put in place for that.
So this is good news to AGI, but obviously GUTA has also threatened to increase goods by between 20 and 25%.
GUTA does not need to worry much. What they need to do is to shift from importation to local production. If they are moving the same capital from the importation to the local products that are being produced, we expect that they can still satisfy the same market.
Let's still stay with the budget reading a while longer because there's been a lot of reactions that has greeted government's announcement to input a 1.75% levy on electronic transactions. And we know that effective January 2022, that directive is supposed to kick in and it's going to affect bank transfers and all electronic transactions. Some telecommunication operators and mobile money vendors have been reacting to this.
The highlights of the 2022 budget statement, what that seeks to achieve is to rope in the informal sector and also widen the tax net. But what is the public stake?
The telcos are already paying, and you're coming to charge the mere vendor for it. How much are we making out of it? I'm a graduate and I'm doing this. How much do you think I'm making? It's all based on commission base. So meaning that if in the whole month I'm working, I'm going to get something like 1,000 Ghana cedi. You're going to take some percentage out of it. Do you know even if I'll be able to make that 1,000 Ghana cedi? But when you just come out and take a policy, okay, I'm taking 1%, I'm taking 2%. How much am I making? You're taking that 1%. So in a month, if I make 500 Ghana, you're going to take 1% out of it. So I think policies that our leaders take, especially this current generation that we are in, they make decisions and come and impose it on us.
What they are deducting is not helping us, but we are managing. So it will be okay for them to manage the same levy they are taking. So adding another one, I'm not sure it will help us.
So what happened to all the taxes, all the previous taxes being taken? We have a lot of them already. The thing is, you have promised, you've made promises you need to fulfill. You don't have to use my money or strain me or drain me in order for you to honor your promises, right? We are already paying so much tax. People are working part-time and they are still paying 10% tax. It's huge. You get it. So somebody works Saturday, Sunday, twice a day, and they are saying, look at even all these market people selling the tolls they take from the motorway and all that, the road tolls. We have lots of taxes which can be put to good use.
There should not be any additional tax
because right now, if he's going to put any additional tax, it's going to affect the city.
There's no job in this country. You know, for me per se, I do business. I attended Maritime University. That is where I went to do marine engineering. But here is the case, there is no job in the country. So we have a little things that we do to, survive and take care of our family as well. And you are putting these taxes on these ones too. I think it will, disturb us. It will worry us a lot.
That'll be all for business. Now, the annual National Science and Math Quiz is here again, and contestants are giving their all to claim the bragging rights for their respective schools. For the first time, the national competition is being held in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, and schools in the region are determined and hoping for a host and win. Ibrahim Abubakar has been monitoring the contestants' preparations for the quiz.
Over the years, the quiz has become more competitive, whipping up public interest. Winners get the bragging rights. For contestants, the platform provides a solid foundation for students who intend to have careers in the field of science or mathematics. But only a handful of schools have managed to win the annual quiz since it started in 1994. 11 out of the over 400 public senior high schools have it. Obviously, the competition has lived up to its bill as the battle of brains. At the Brunei Hall in KNUST, where competing students have been camped, contestants were seen busily preparing. Four-time champions of the quiz, Prempeh College, have brought in both past winners and contestants to assist the 2021 contestants. They go through past questions and conduct quiz among themselves to test their readiness.
We are not only preparing towards our first contest, but we want to win the trophy. So we have to win all our contests before we can get the trophy. So that's what we are preparing towards.
The school is hoping to claim the trophy for the 5th time.
The vision of hosting and winning, that has been our long-time vision, and readily the cup now is in Kumasi. We are hosting it, and definitely we want to win it, and it will come to pass.
For contestants of Archbishop Porter's Girls Senior High School, winning the ultimate won't be an easy task, but they desire to win it for the first time.
We've already gathered momentum from where we are coming from, and from what we are seeing from the contests that they've had so far, we've seen like there are a lot of unexpected wins all over the place. So we know that we can also pull through with our good preparations and God on our side. We'll be able to surely bring the trophy.
Determined to make it to at least the semi-finals of the quiz, students of their senior high school in Kumasi had to leave disappointed. They failed to progress in the 1H stage.
What we were expecting was victory, but unfortunately, we couldn't make it back. We are reserving our comment next year. We are going to come back better and strong.
Well, the road to claiming the bragging rights remain a tough one, and all contenders are trying to prove their worth. For schools in Ashanti region, this is a fine opportunity for them to host and win the competition. But who will claim the bragging rights for 2021? We have to wait for Friday, November 26. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
And I know for a fact St. Hubert didn't also make it to the next stage, and unfortunate for Bishop Herman College as well, we're unable to make it, but we're coming back stronger next year. We're still watching Midday Live. Kelvin Owusu-Ansah, St. Hubert's Seminary, he is here with the latest in sports.
I'm gonna wait on you. Heaven on Earth Conference 2021.
The best is yet to come. Global lead pastor Gideon Danso and the good folks of Empowerment Worship Center brings to you yet another life-changing conference this November. Guest speakers, the legendary Dr. Mesa Otabil, Samuel Rodriguez, John Gray, Pastor Paul Doherty, Keon Henderson, Bradley Knight, and the host, Gideon Danso. Dante Bowe from Maverick City will lead worship together with our very own EWC Live. Date, 17 to 21st November 2021. Venue, the Prayer Factory, Obasanjo Road, next to Allied Heights, Jowulu, Accra. For more info, visit heavenonearthewc.com. Heaven on Earth Conference, the best is yet to come. Empowerment Worship Center, where God lives.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV. Great. So get your GoCoder, GoTenna, and 1 month of GoTV Plus for only 89 CDs to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Amazing.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season.
Then why hold back?
And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Sometimes you just know that something ain't going good. You say to yourself, this ain't working for me. There be no shame in that, man. Like when you don't got it? Yeah, man, I mean, being smart means knowing when to stop. Know your limit.
So like knowing when to stop? Yeah, makes sense.
If it's not fun, choose to stop.
This advertisement is brought to you by Bet Power.
Wow! What more could you get from Ladies Fashion? My brothers and sisters, there's no need to travel a long way to buy your wedding gowns, dinner wears, your children's clothes, special suits, ladies' dresses, or handbags. Because when you come to Ladies Fashion, we have everything in stock for you. And guess what? We do wholesale as well as retail. So hurry up, come to Ladies Fashion and we will serve you right. Ladies Fashion. We are the best in fashion. Locate us at Accra, UTC, opposite Fidelity Bank, or call 024 118 2299.
You're welcome back. Time now for sports. Kelvin Owusu-Ansah is joining me in studio. And Kelvin, I know one of the biggest stories this afternoon has to be that response from the Ghana Football Association to all the allegations that the South African Football Association has been making with respect to that qualifying game here in Cape Coast. And shocking, they describe it as frivolous.
Yeah. Komla is not just one of the biggest, it's the biggest. You know, just minutes after the FA posted their response on the GhanaFA.org website, the website had to crash for a few minutes because, yes, I'm sure people would want to know further development, and some of our Nigerian and other colleagues across Africa were calling for an explanation. And certainly, I think the FA had to respond to this. They had been quiet or the Monday or Sunday after the game, and then they just had to respond in equal measure, which they did after receiving the correspondence from FIFA. So hopefully in subsequent development we are going to hear a lot, but this is just a response to SAFA and their claims of match fixing and
alleged collusion on the part of match officials.
Well, I think it's not really the best, and let's quickly have a look at what the FA had to say in the statement regarding the response. And the first thing they addressed was SAFA's claim on travel time being 9 hours, and the FA goes back to it and says no, that the distance between Accra and Cape Coast is just a little over 2 hours, just about 2 hours and not 9 hours, which we are all aware. And SAFA have been grossly outrageous, just like you said. They've been untruthful and disrespectful with all their claims, and they are failing to recognize that they were incompetent in securing a playoff ticket, that is a World Cup ticket for the playoffs in the next round, which will be played in March. So the FA just think that they just want to avert attention from that incompetence. And also, the GFA responded only to uphold the integrity of the game. So the response is just to make sure that Africa football and its integrity is protected. And finally, they say they've acknowledged the response from FIFA, and hopefully they would respond accordingly. Yeah, they have just 2 days, so tomorrow is the final day for them to respond. So I have my senior colleague Jerome Autry via Zoom, and we would have a quick interaction with him on what exactly is happening. Jerome, if you can hear me, what do you make of the statement of response by the Ghana Football Association to SAFA's claims?
I think they've been very direct. This is what some of us expected them to do from last night, and they didn't delay. Right away, they have responded to it appropriately. I even felt they were going to be a bit harsher than they were, because what the South Africans did yesterday for some of us were very embarrassing. I mean, they put Ghana on the chopping block and just disgraced us. But it's important we put out the fact that they lied. I mean, I just heard you talk about the travel distance from Accra to Cape Coast. Some of their top journalists made it look like it's almost like traveling from Accra to Johannesburg on road, or even by air. And that for me is very embarrassing, because these are things you can check. Again, I feel that the South Africans are just being sore losers. I mean, they lost the game. If indeed you feel that a referee cheated you, the best contest is to go to FIFA. And if you have done that, why come back in the media and run a country down? It's important the FA has responded, and we will have to wait and see what they will send to FIFA and what FIFA's response will also be.
Well, just a quick one. But with all these, when you listen to SAFA's claims and what they've done with all the analysis, do you think they may make a case that may result in a replay of the game?
No, I didn't find SAFA telling us who corrupted the referee or how the referee was corrupted. I didn't see SAFA giving us evidence of that corruption. All they did was to talk about refereeing mistakes in the game. And this is something anybody can do. I do not see how FIFA is going to order a replay or going to deduct points from Ghana and say, because of those complaints by SAFA, Ghana is losing the game. I don't see how FIFA will do that. If it is about a referee's mistakes, I have said that then we may not play football again, because referees are always going to make mistakes. SAFA should just admit that South Africa lost the game and they've lost the opportunity to be at the World Cup. The Ghana Football Association should concentrate on preparing our team when the draw for the playoffs is done. The moment we know our opponents, the preparation should continue, and we should get to beating them to be at Qatar next year.
All right, thank you so much, Jerome Autry. So that was Jerome Autry right there. That's it for sport this afternoon on Midday Live. My name is Kelvin Owutuanta. Entertainment news is up next.
Awanita Ikea and in entertainment this afternoon is Thursday, and it's just in order to do a beautiful throwback. Here is a look at the exploits of one of the early actresses to find fame on TV, the late legendary Ghanaian actress Margaret Kwenu, known popularly as Araba Stamp.
Born in December 1941, Araba Stamp was one of the early actresses to find fame in the post-independence era. Young Araba Stamp fell in love with acting after dropping out of primary school to join the Brigade drama group. The years that followed saw her show keen interest in stage play, touring the length and breadth of the country with concert party groups. The late Ghanaian actress later had her breakthrough when she featured in the classic film I Told You So, a 1970 Ghanaian movie which portrayed Ghanaians and their way of life in a satirical manner. She She acted alongside the late Lord Bob Cole. Araba Stamp was jovial, versatile, and greatly admired for her originality.
Our catching here. Sikenti, not the way you like to be so wow, Fassi. Let's make the mirrors some of us. You was a man. Me, moment, be the mom.
She also gained much exposure after acting the movie Sika Sunsum and later in the popular Ifira TV series.
Beautiful lady. Fucking expensive, man.
Araba Stamp acted alongside the late Bob Santo, Ebenezer Donko aka Jafari, and Kofuri. Her name still resonates with many thanks to her witty fancy jokes, funny dance moves, and great sense of humor. The is a legendary actress and entertainer revered for her immense contribution to the growth of the industry through her craft, died on July 12, 2006 at the age of 70. May her soul continue to rest in peace.
Very exciting memories right there. My name is Anita Kiyekufu. That's it for entertainment. Good afternoon.
And that's how we wrap up the bulletin this afternoon here on TV3. Came to you live from the News Hub at Adisawe Kanda in Accra. There's a lot more stories after the news will come. Have a good afternoon.